Okay. I think we're good. Just that volume a bit. There we go. All right. Welcome back, everybody. Soul Commodore here. We're back doing some more painting today. We're almost done with this painting, actually. And it's exciting because when we finish this painting, I've got a surprise for y'all. I mean, if you saw the last stream, it wouldn't be a surprise because I said what I was going to do with that one. But for those of you who weren't there, yeah, I got a little surprise for you once this painting is done. We've got probably about, I would say, maybe another 20 minutes or so to do with this painting, and then we'll sign it, and then we'll see what happens. All right. But first, as always, grab my paint. It's all neatly laid out on this palette here. And I'm going to grab the reference image, which I have all set up and handy. Oh, that's Stream Manager. There we go. There is our reference image that I took weeks ago. Okay. So like I said, we only got a few things left to do. We're going to do another sign in here, maybe. I'm not quite sure where yet. We're also going to shore up these lines, make sure that they're okay, make sure they're looking good, because they look pretty good here, but it might just be a matter of just adjusting the angle of them a bit. But yeah, we're very, very close to being done this painting. So get you all set up there, and I'm going to grab the first brush that we're going to start with. Is a tiny little brush. We'll grab a rag to dry it off. I hope you all had a wonderful day today. Hope you're having a lovely Tuesday evening, or morning, or afternoon, or maybe it's Wednesday morning, wherever you are. I hope it's a wonderful day for you so far. I just started a new job, and I'm going through the training process of that job, which involves a lot of, like, because it's admin work, so it involves a lot of just watching a computer. So it's been a very, very slow couple of days. But you know what? That's okay. That's all right. Okay. All right. So we're just gonna come down here. Yeah, I think these lines are a little bit crooked. But that's okay. There's a fix for that. First thing we need to do is get some white paint on our brush. And we're going to bring the palette down here on the ground so that I don't have to stretch backwards to get any paint. And we're just going to go along this line again. And this got a little thicker than I wanted it to be, but that's okay. Here I'm going to try not to drop the camera. Beautiful. Yeah, this got a little thicker than I wanted it to be, but that's okay. We'll fix that up a little bit right now, actually, before we go on too far. We're just taking some gray. I'm just going to straighten out that line a bit. Just like so. Originally I was just going to try and like paint these lines at a better angle, but I think it's better if I actually try to color match the background and go that route. Just kind of like erase them and then redo them. I think that'll be a better way to go. Yo, Blue Bubble, what's up? What's up? How are you? Good to see you. Hey, that's all right. I appreciate you stopping by for a bit. We're just going to be finishing up this painting today, actually. And then we're probably going to have time to start a new painting. Oh, thank you. Yeah. Yeah, that's on the last stream I decided I finally needed to come up with something for that van, so we went with gadget movers. And hopefully it's not a... Yo! Jake from the Woods! Thank you for gifting the sub to Zelshot and Rocky Road. I appreciate that. Very much. That's... My goodness. You didn't have to do that. But I appreciate it. I was just explaining to Blue Bubble that had to come up with something for this van in terms of the logo. And I decided to go with Gadget Movers and just hope and pray that there isn't a Gadget Movers out there that will sue me for using their name. Which would be highly unlikely that they would be doing that. But, hey, you never know. The hat inspired you. Well, I do appreciate it. It's very giving. Right now, I apologize, like, these tiny little lines, like, I can't really... Well, I guess I could zoom in, couldn't I? You know, that's a good question, Blue Bubble. It would probably help some people, but I know I thought of the color, but I also thought it was an innuendo when I first saw it, like a double entendre, and a reference to Arrested Development. But yeah, it would probably help some people, but at the same time, I do like the stylized version of Blue. Yeah, it's a tough one. It's always a tough one. Coming up with like deciding what you want for like online personas. Literally, the only reason that I'm Soul Commodore is because of a coin toss. I asked Jake from the Woods because I was planning on doing some streaming. I asked him which name he preferred because on all my social media. Like where I post all my artwork, I'm my given name, like Timothy Jamar Brown or Timothy Jamar, right? And I was like, do I keep that consistent with my Twitch name, or do I go with Soul Commodore? And the pros and cons were like, Timothy Jamar is consistent, because that's my YouTube, it's in my website, it's my Instagram, all that kind of stuff. But Soul Commodore also sounds badass. And he said that Soul Commodore was intriguing. And then my girlfriend said that keeping it consistent with Timothy Jamar might be a good idea. And then I asked like 6 other people, and it was split 50-50. So the only reason that Soul Commodore won was because I flipped a coin. And the coin ended up Soul Commodore, so here we are. But yeah, it's difficult. Yeah, but we're just repainting some of these lines on this for the parking spaces in this parking lot because they were a little bit crooked the last time I did them. So we're just fixing that up right now. you know, because we're almost done this painting and we've made a whole lot of mistakes in it, which is okay. So what's one more mistake than painting lines a little bit crooked, you know? Yeah, I get that. Yeah, honestly, I would, if it were up to me, which it isn't, but if it were up to me, I would keep it the BLOO. So fixing these lines, and then we've got to paint one more sign, and then I think we'll do a little bit of last minute abstraction in a couple of places, and then this painting will be done, and we get to move on to the surprise, which I alluded to in the last stream, and at the beginning of this one. My eye's itchy. You know, a lot of people ask me sometimes, because, you know, I'm Canadian, and winters where I live tend not to get as hellacious as they do, like, you know, further up north or in the territories or even out east in terms of the quantity of the snow and all that kind of stuff, but still a good amount of snow. But people do ask me why I love winter so much, and there's a multitude of reasons, but the not the most insignificant one of those reasons is I have seasonal allergies in spring and summer, and all of those go away in the winter, which is just glorious. That just popped in my mind because I was scratching my eye, which is one of the symptoms of my seasonal allergies, is my eyes get itchy. It's like, oh, I'm glad I don't have to deal with that on a large scale for another, well, another few months at the very least, till everything starts growing back. Okay, so now we've got our parking spaces here, which just adds a little more depth to the painting. It's one of those things where, like, if they weren't there, you'll miss it, but you don't necessarily look for it. I'm going to abstract a little bit more over here so we don't have to worry about painting those lines again. Because, to be honest, a little bit of a pain. Excuse my torso, I'm just putting my straight edge back. And we'll move you all back. So you can get a fuller view of the piece. There we go. All right, so we've got, I think I'm going to do a tiny little sign here with a little in-joke with one of the viewers here. But yeah, Blue, I think if that's the aesthetic of your channel, I think it'll translate just keeping it BLOO, in my opinion. All right, so we dried off our brush. And we dipped our thumb in some white paint, because of course, it's not a Soul Commodore stream if I don't get paint all over myself. Alright. So like I said, we're going to paint a tiny little sign here. Or maybe I'll put it here below. Yeah, I'll put it below, because that gives us a little bit more wiggle room. And then we might abstract over it just a little bit, but not to a crazy extent, because I want it to be somewhat readable. I just moved you back. I'm going to bring you in again, because this is a small little area. Once I get my setup with multiple cameras, this should go smoother, I think. There we go. But yeah, I hope everyone's having a wonderful night. That you're able to, I mean, again, if it is nighttime for you, and if it's not, I hope you're having a wonderful day. I hope the day hasn't been too stressful for you so far. I'm just gonna put a little border on that to add some dimensionality. Same there. Okay. Now I'm going to wash this brush off because I just want white paint on it. Actually, let's see if I've got a finer brush than that. I doubt it, but we shall see. You don't have a finer brush, but you might have a newer one. Let's see. So all the flathead brushes. Those are the round brushes. I don't need one of those, so we'll go with this. Because I don't actually have a liner brush, so. But we'll see how this goes. See, where's that small brush? Where'd I just put it? There I go again, losing something that I just had in my hand 2 seconds ago. There it is. It blended in on my bed. Okay, so now we'll swap out. So we're going to take a very, very fine edge here. Again, this fine letter work, I'm not that great at it, but we're going to try. We're going to try our best. There we go. So, a couple of streams ago, I was talking about doing signs and logos of brands and stuff. And someone who's been in a number of chats, you know who you are, mentioned that, you know, we were talking about like the knockoff stuff, right? And they mentioned that I should put in a product sign for is that as far as it's gonna go? Anyway, it says Mocha-Cola. You know, because it's not Coca-Cola. You know, very clear distinction. It's not Coca-Cola. It's Mocha-Cola, and not mocha as in coffee. You know, but it is distinctly different from Coca-Cola. You know. Vastly different entity. There we go. All right. So that's all for the signage, I think. So, the camera back a bit again. And we'll zoom out. There we go. Okay. So I think that's about it for like all the fine detail stuff that I want to do. I think that just about covers it. So I want to do a little more abstraction over here. Yeah, we're going to come down to here because again I don't want to touch this area, but this will be fine. So I'm going to do some abstraction here. So we'll grab our palette knife and make sure we clean it off. There we go. Ah, how is it already 6:30? My goodness. It's not fair. So, we're going to get our colors together. Make a nice burgundy again. And then we'll just start making a mess. And we'll cut that with some white. You know, as a continuation of what was going on in the sky. Throw a little black in there. There we go. We'll put a little bit over here near the Coca-Cola sign. Again, keeping the sign intact, but it's abstracting around it. Yeah. I like that. I like that. Ah, right. And there were some areas down here that I wanted to abstract a little bit. And a little bit over here. Even though this is going to be mostly off the page, but that's fine. Or page, it's canvas actually. But I'm sure y'all know what I meant. Yo, Zelsha, what's up? What's up? How's it going? I wish I could have interacted with your stream earlier a little bit more, but unfortunately I was working. But hope you're doing well. We're just finishing up this painting today, actually, and we're getting to the point now where I think it's actually pretty safe to sign it and say that it's done. I think we've reached that point. That's fair enough. But hey, you know, fatherhood does that, you know. But that's fair. What food you getting? What are you having for supper? Or for a snack? All right. I think well, here, I'll give you all a look. See what you all think, because I think that this looks pretty done to me, I think. I think that's a successful painting. Oh, nice, nice. Mac and cheese. That's solid. That's solid. I like that. I like that. Mac and cheese is a good choice. Jake, I'm gonna have to fix my settings for the chat that shows up on the screen, because your name gets cut off. We gotta fix that. Ah. Ooh, that's important, Jake. Both mac and cheese and poutine are very important. Okay, so I'm going to y'all keep chatting for a minute. I'm just gonna go grab a Sharpie so that we can sign this, and this painting will be officially done. Which, signing a painting doesn't mean that you can't do more work to the painting, but I think this painting is done. I think I don't want to do too much more to it. I really don't. Actually, I'm gonna do a little. I just lied. Just this area up here, I just want to make this a little bit more white, a little bit more defined, right above this telephone pole. Mac and cheese poutine is important to her? Yes. Actually, I know it's not the best. I mean, obviously it's poutine, so it's not the best for you anyway. But my favorite version of poutine is pulled pork poutine. I love pulled pork poutine, which is why I don't eat it very often, because I love it too much. And, thank you, Jake. I appreciate that. Okay, so Just put these final touches on. And then we'll go get a Sharpie to sign this with. Because I can't actually paint my signature. I'm horrible at it, so I just cheat. So, I will be right back. I won't put up the screen or anything. I'll just let you all look at this. But I will be right back. All right, we're back. So now we get to decide which corner we want to sign. And I think we're going to sign this one because not that I think that signing over here is going to draw your eye too far away from this gentleman in the puddle, but I'd rather not take that risk, so we're going to sign it over in this corner, I think. Yeah. So, is this zoomed all the way out? It is. I just need to back this up a little more. My makeshift tripod. There we go. All right. So now we will sign it. Sign and date it. That's a thing that I do. What is today? Today is the 14th. There we go. And you can't even see where I signed it. There we go. There it is right there. But yeah, that's our painting. I think it turned out pretty well. I like it. Yeah, I'm happy with how this turned out. Okay. So, I mentioned at the top that there's a little surprise in our programming today in terms of what we're doing with this. So now that this painting is done, I'm going to take a longer break than usual. Actually, it's probably going to be closer to like 3 or 4 minutes because I got to get the camera repositioned. Because the surprise is, now I have to go grab it. To celebrate this painting being done, I'm going to show you all, as I squeeze by my tripod, how to actually stretch a painting that's done. So that's the plan. So basically I'm going to turn the camera around because we're going to do it on the floor. And then, yeah, I'll show you that whole process. So, yeah, going to take about 3 or 4 minutes breaks. I'll run a quick 30-second ad during that. You know what to do with the ads. you know, go grab a snack, install ad block, burn your computer. Don't do that, actually. Don't set fire to your computer. But yeah, and then when we come back, we will show you how to do this. All right, so let me throw this screen up, and we will see you all in a couple of minutes. All right, and we're back. Thanks for being patient. So, we're over here. I had a feeling that was going to happen, but that's all right. Okay, there we go. So we're back. You'll notice too I changed because doing this kind of stuff, you can obviously wear like, you know, a nice pair of pants and a sweater doing this. But it's much nicer to wear like workout clothes or like something loose, and because it's not that it's non-strenuous. Or it's not like it's the most strenuous thing in the world, but you're gonna be sweating. I gotta prop something up behind this camera because it really wants to shift on me. But yeah, we're just going to be down here on the floor, and I'm going to show you guys the process of stretching a painting that you've already done. Because typically most people would stretch the canvas onto the stretcher or the wood frame before you do any sort of painting. But that's not my style. So just excuse me while I try to find something to prop up behind this camera so it doesn't continue to fall over. Again, with my makeshift tripod here. One of these days I'll get an actual tripod, and we'll have some semblance of professionalism. But for now, this will have to do. Okay. So, we will grab our frame, which I just built earlier today. Very simple. It's just 1x2 pine. This particular painting is 3 feet by 3 feet, so you know this is very lightweight, but it's strong. Like it's not gonna warp or bend or anything. Typically, I don't do this, but I'm gonna do it just for the sake of prosperity because it is a better idea to do this. Is to actually lay down a blanket of some kind when you're doing this. You know, just so that your painting doesn't get a bunch of dirt on it and stuff like that. Okay. Now, I'm going to shift this back a bit so you get more of a view. There we go. Because unfortunately I can't tilt this down too much. Otherwise the phone is just going to fall over. But we'll have enough room to do it back there. And now we just grab our painting. And the nice thing about doing square paintings, like I said, this one is 3 feet by 3 feet, is it doesn't really matter what side, like when you lay it down on its face, it doesn't really matter what side you put down first. So we have our painting all nice and squared up. So we're going to back up a bit here over into this corner. And it's not super important to get the wrinkles out of the blanket, but the less you have, the better, just because it's easier to work. There we go. All right. And I think our music just forgot to loop. So let me throw that back up. There we go. All right. So we have our painting on the ground. We have our frame. Now, I want this this brace in the middle. I want it to be straight up and down. I don't want it horizontal. It doesn't really matter. That's just what I want. So I'm just taking a look at the painting to see which way it's oriented. There we go. And we're gonna try to square that up as much as we can. And then we're going to take our handy dandy staple gun. You can do this with there's actual like tacks that you can hammer in with like a little like tack hammer. but I don't like them. I much prefer staples. It's faster. I don't really notice much of a difference. And one thing I'm looking for, is hearing protection. So I've just got my earbuds here. Now this is important because staple guns are loud, and we're in an enclosed area. So much like you don't really want to spray like any sort of fixative or anything, or use like really heavy solvents with paint in an enclosed space without any ventilation, you also don't want to have a really loud sound in an enclosed space without any hearing protection, because that's just not going to be good for your hearing. And last I heard, tinnitus or tinnitus, however you pronounce it, it's not that fun. So what we're looking for in terms of spacing the frame on the canvas, when you're painting, if you're doing it this method, you do want to try and leave like at least a couple of inches of space beyond where you paint, because it's just going to be easier to wrap it around and stretch it, right? If you only leave like a centimeter, like you're not even going to get up the edge of the frame, right? So you want enough that you can really grab a hold of it to stretch it, right? So what I'm going to do now is just make sure that the parts of the painting that I want on the painting are actually going to make it on the painting when I stretch this, which they should, because I left enough space. Yeah, it's going to wrap all the way around. That's fine. That's perfectly fine. And in terms of down here, what are we looking at? Okay, we're good. Okay, so we have the canvas where we want it, and if you caught the last time we did this, because we stretched a canvas that didn't have anything on it, right? What you want to do, I like starting where the brace is you want to grab the edge and you want to pull it taut, right? You don't have to start out pulling it taut because it's the first staple, but I like to. So now that's nice and anchored. And now you want to stretch the opposite side. So we come around here and we do the same thing. We pull on the edge and we pull with a lot of tension to really stretch that canvas. And we lay down a staple, right? And now, at least that way, it's anchored to the frame. And now we go to the opposite edges. We do the same here. Pulling it very taut. There we go. And now we do this side. Try not to pull the blanket with us. That's why I tend not to use any sort of blankets, because it's very easy to trip over them. So I tend to just do this on the ground and then just brush off the painting to get all the dust and all that kind of stuff off. Alright. So now, our painting is actually on our frame. And you'll notice that it's got some wrinkles in it, you know. But with any luck, we'll pull it taut enough that that won't really matter. Now, one thing you want to do here too is another reason why we only do 4 staples, to make sure that the tension is even, but also because 4 staples is a lot easier to take out than, say, 42, right? So what you want to do when you've got those 4 staples in is you want to pull the painting up and make sure that it's actually, you know, spaced the way you want it, you know. Now with this one, there wasn't too much space that I left on the edges, so I just put it dead center and we're good. But with some paintings, you know, you want to just pull it up and make sure that it's where you want it to be. Because if it's not, then it's really easy to pull out those 4 staples and try again, right? A lot easier than pulling out, like I said, 42 of them. Like you staple the entire thing and then it's just, you know. So we'll lay this back down. And now, what I tend to do is we've got the staple in the center, right? And I'll go here, and then here, here, and then here, here, and then here, here, and then here. If you saw when we were doing the very, very, very big canvas, it's like 6 feet by 4 feet. I segmented it a little more. But basically, I'm just going to staple this entire side, and then we're going to staple that side, and then we're just going to go this side and then this side, right? There are different methods, like you can just staple this entire half, and then do the opposite half, and then do this, and then that one. But I like putting the tension here, and then here, here, and then here, here, and then here. Keeping about, like, trying to keep, like, 1.5 inches, 2 inches in between each staple, right? Pulling with as much tension as we can get. I mentioned it in the with the big painting that we stretched. It is easier to actually get their canvas pliers and pull with that. And it's easier actually to get that tension with canvas pliers if you, I'll turn around and show you. If you grab the canvas pliers and you pull down this way, right? But I don't have canvas pliers. But what that would look like is you have the pliers and then you just grab the edge with them and you pull down, right? And then you just put in the staple. I don't tend to like using canvas pliers because I like to actually feel the tension with my fingers. And canvas pliers do tend to allow you to get a tighter pull the first time, but you know, I would rather just feel it with my fingers, and then if it's not tight enough, there are methods that you can do to tighten it up, which I'll go over when we get there. But for now, we're just going to go side to side with as much tension as we can get. And like I've mentioned before, this actually isn't going to hurt the paint at all. The only way you would hurt the paint is if you had canvas pliers and you pulled too hard and you ripped the canvas. That's the only way you're going to hurt the paint. Art conservators, when they have to reframe a painting, they're obviously careful with it, but they take the painting off the old stretcher and then they stretch the painting on the new one, right? So it's actually not going to hurt the paint at all, especially because this is acrylic, and acrylic is very pliable. It's plastic, you know? So yeah, you're not going to hurt the painting in the slightest, as long as you're careful and you take your time and don't rush. You'll be just fine. Okay, and now we're in the corner. So that's one edge done. Now, very easy, we just flip it over and do the opposite edge. You always do the opposite edge to keep that tension. If you really wanted to be stringent about it, and this is much easier if you're stretching painting on a table, is you would actually go like staple here, go to the other side, staple, staple, and then go that way, right? Back and forth. I don't feel like getting up and down that much. So again, just trying to keep a good 2 inches or so. You want to keep the spacing consistent because that will also help hold the tension. I just realized I should probably stop talking while I staple because the staple gun's loud. And I'm trying to say something and then I staple and it's like, oh, you didn't hear what I said? That staple didn't actually go in because I realized at the last second that I didn't have enough grip on this piece there. You can also staple the sides if that's your... It's basically a stylistic choice. You can staple on the back or use tacks, or you can staple the sides of the painting, like on the outer edge. It's really personal preference. I like the look of having the staples on the back more, but some people really like the look of the staples on the outside edge. One thing that I've seen some people do, not too many, but I can't actually comment on how good a technique this is because I've never done it. I've never been interested in doing it. I've seen people actually glue their canvas to a frame or to a flat board. I'm not all that interested in doing that myself, but for some people that works. You can get pretty strong adhesives and do that if that's your wish. But yeah, that's not really my thing. And like I said, because you're pulling, you're gonna work up a sweat, which is why it's better to wear, you know, it's better not to wear like jeans and a sweatshirt. It's better to wear something, you know, more fitting for sweating. And, which, I mean, this is still a long sleeve shirt and still long pants, but it's workout stuff, so it's fine. Okay, how are we looking? Good. We might have to do my method to tighten this up, but it's okay. It's one more thing that you can learn. And I'm sure somewhere, someone who's an actual artist will watch this and be like, yo, what is this technique? You know. But this is how it was taught to me. And if I was taught wrong, then, well, it's the way the cookie crumbles. It's worked for me so far. we're out of staples. Thankfully, I've got more right over here. But yeah, make sure that you have staples on hand because it's going to take a bit. Yo, Rocky Bro, what's up? What's up? Welcome to the stream. You're not too late. You're not too late at all. Yes, it's canvas time. I was just explaining how my method of stretching canvases, but yeah, welcome in. Glad you could make it. And you're not too late at all. If you want to get the full thing, I guess you could watch the VOD, but basically what I was saying was when you start, which I don't know if you've stretched a canvas before, but the way I was always taught was like you start on one end, then you go to the opposite end, you put a staple here, a staple there, a staple here, a staple there, you know, you always do the opposites. Then you start on one side, do the one side, do the opposite side, and then just go back and forth like that. So we're getting closer to finishing that. Oops, I shouldn't have put that one in yet, but that's okay. I was also explaining that you can use a pair of canvas pliers to get this really, really taut. I like using my hands more, even though it does kill your fingers. And if it's not taut enough, that's okay, because I've got a couple of tricks up my sleeve to make sure that it ends up tight enough. Oh yeah, it is fun to do. It is a workout, so like I'm wearing workout clothes now. Don't wear like a three-piece suit, or you know, like don't wear like heavy clothes. Don't wear a parka. Don't wear a really gaudy dress. Although a dress, I don't know, a dress might actually give some airflow. It might actually be nice to do this in a dress, or a kilt, or a skirt. But, you know, just wear nice, loose-fitting clothing that you're not afraid to sweat in, because you will get a workout. Whether you do this with staples, or with tacks, or I guess adhesive wouldn't be that sweaty, or whether you're using canvas pliers or you're using your hands, like, it's obviously not the most strenuous thing in the world, but you will get a workout. So just keep that in mind. I was also explaining too, if you decide to do this method, yeah, true. If you do this method where you paint on the canvas first and then you stretch it, you want to leave at least 2 inches of space on all the edges to actually grab on and stretch over the back. Because if you just leave like, you know, a couple of centimeters or whatever, you might not even get it up over the edge when you're stretching it. Which is bad news bears. Okay, so we just stapled all the way to the corners. Oh. So we're almost there. We're almost there. This is pretty taut. There are some areas where it's a little looser, but altogether that's not too bad. It looks like, from what I can see, there are still a few wrinkles like up at the top, but that's very easily taken care of, and I'll show you how. But first we got to do these corners. So what's the best way to show you how to do these corners? I think it'd be easier if I just come up closer to the camera, because there is a bit of a, yeah, there's some wrinkles there. Which is funny because I can't really feel them, but you can see them. But that's all right. We'll take care of that. Because canvas is a wonderful material that, well, I'm getting ahead of myself. Let's do these corners first. So, the way that I do corners, like for this one, I want the little triangle on the sides, right? So, let's see if I left myself enough room to do this, actually. This is one of those things where I've done it over and over and over again, and yet still sometimes I forget how I do it. Because it is tricky to do the corners on a canvas. Okay, so yeah, I buy it from, I don't know if they have it where you live, but in Canada there's a, also apologies if you've mentioned that you live in Canada and I forgot. But I know in Canada there's a store called Curry's, and they sell big canvas. Actually, I'll grab one of the canvas rolls that I have. Yeah, they just sell big canvas rolls. This is 64 inches by 6 yards. So 64 inches by 8 feet. So about 5 by 8, right? You can get larger ones that are longer. I've gotten a 20-yard roll before. And the nice thing about it is it lasts forever. Like, you're in the States. Okay, good. But yeah, it's 64 inches by 6 yards, that particular roll. So I would just look and see if there's any art supply stores that have rolls of canvas. Because honestly, it's a big upfront cost buying a roll of canvas. Just because, unfortunately, like, art stuff isn't that cheap. But if you're able to afford that upfront cost with the canvas, this is just 1x2 pine, and it's not like specially treated pine or anything. It's very, very cheap wood, and the canvas, like, it's, to get a painting this, to buy a canvas that's 3 feet by 3 feet, like, it's gonna be unbelievably expensive, right? Like a painting, a canvas that's pre-made, pre-stretched, that's, you know, 3/4 of this size, is gonna be like over $100, especially at like the big box stores. So it's a lot more economical to just buy the wood, build the canvas yourself. Again, upfront cost, because what I did is I buy the canvas roll. I bought a miter box so that I could just saw the wood myself, cut the wood myself. I'm sure at Home Depot or whatever you could cut the wood there, because I know that's a service that we have here. But yeah, it ends up saving you money in the long run buying canvas rolls, I find. Okay, so corners. You've got your two edges that are kind of like butterflied here at the back, right? Like that. So what I do is I bring them over and I kind of like pinch them together like this, and then I fold it over so that you get a nice little triangle, and then this here I pinch and fold back like that to get a nice straight edge. So I'll show you that again, step by step. So you got your corner, so you pinch it together like so, you fold it over like that to get a nice triangle shape on the edge, and bring that down like that, right? And then you basically grab this and fold it straight back, like so. And that leaves you with a nice triangle edge, like that. And where'd my staple gun go? There it is. And then you just staple that in place. Trying to keep it tight, but... Hey, what's up, It Reach the Moon? Yes, yes. We're doing some origami with the... How are you today? And then, yeah, I just staple it in the corner just to make sure it's not going to go anywhere. I'll probably grab some scissors and trim some of this off, you know. Actually, let me go grab some scissors. I will be right back. I'll let you all look at this over here while I go grab some scissors. But that's the wrong corner. What am I doing? Thank you, Rocky. I appreciate that. But yeah, I'll just grab some scissors and trim that excess off so it lays more flat. You know. Ooh. Are the stores real busy where you are yet? Or have people not really realized that, oh, Christmas is in 2 weeks? But I appreciate you popping in, even just for a bit. There you go. Also, by the way, if you really want to secure this edge, same with all these edges. Like I said, you want to try, I tend to keep like 2 inches in between these spaces. If you want to do it closer, you can. Nobody who's worth anything, you know, nobody who's, you know, actually a good person is going to judge you for how many staples you use in the back of your canvas. You're not even going to see it, right? So whatever it takes to make sure that it's secure and it's like you like, you know, just put as many staples in as you want. All right. Oh, well, that's good. That's good. So, I'll do this corner again. I want the triangle on this edge again, right? So it might actually be easier for me to come this way. So this is butterflied out again, right? Let me angle this up a bit, I think. Yeah, gives you more room. Yeah, so it's butterflied like that. So you pinch it together, right? You fold it over toward the edge that you want the triangle to be on, right? So if you want it on top, you fold this up toward the top, right? If you want it on the side, you fold it down toward the side, right? Making sure that it's nice and tight, right? So you got that nice triangle. And then we pinch this and fold it back. Again, it's a little finicky. I've done this over and over again, and it still kind of trips me up sometimes. We're going to do some left-handed staple action, which is dangerous because I'm not left-handed, but I like to live dangerously. Yeah, and then we just... Oop, where did that go? If you go to staple and the staple doesn't go in, try to make sure that it doesn't actually go up like into the edge of the paint, because then it's going to show up on your painting, and that's not it's not great. Also, try not to staple your earphones if you're wearing them for ear protection. Because that's also not great. That's right, Rocky. Staples as much as you want. Okay, so that's 2 edges down. Got the same thing here. Now this one, because of the way the painting is oriented, I want this triangle, it's going to be on the top this time, right? Because this is the side edge, and I want the triangles on the side. So if I turn it this way, that triangle is going to be on the top. So again, we pinch this corner together, we fold up this time because we want the triangle on the top, and then we fold it down like that. Now this one has a lot of excess material. Actually, it's not too bad. There we go. That's better. Okay, so we got that corner nice and done. Honestly, like this is one of those things kind of like driving stick or learning how to ride a bike. Where, like I can give instruction, but honestly, it's more of a feel thing. It's more of a touch thing. And it's going to take you a few tries to get it. But you'll get it. And now we're on the side again, so pinch together at the corner, fold down. Yeah. I've been folding this stuff on a regular basis for 5 years now, and I still don't have it quite down. But that's okay. There we go. So that's everything stretched on the side. And again, you can see these ripples in the shadow of the light. Oh, it's upside down. But that is our painting. And again, there's still a few wrinkles in it. So, you stretched your canvas, you thought you did a great job, but it's not as tight as you want, and there's still wrinkles in it. So what do? Well, the beautiful thing about canvas is fabric, right? And it's one of those fun fabrics that shrinks when it's wet and heat is introduced to it. So what you do is, oh, thank you, Rocky. I appreciate it. I appreciate that. Also, I threw in a little Easter egg because I think it was you a few streams ago who mentioned something about Mocha-Cola. So I threw in a little Mocha-Cola sign. I don't know if that'll focus. But yeah, so we got Mocha-Cola in there. Anyway, canvas shrinks when it's wet and heat is introduced to it. So what you do is you just spray the back. Like you just grab a spray bottle and you spray the back to just dampen the canvas. You don't want to get it soaking wet. There have been times where I've like sprayed in under the edges. Yo, Rocky, thank you for the bits. I appreciate that. Yes, Mocha-Cola coming to a store near you. Also, thank you, Moon. I appreciate that. I'm glad you think it's cool. What was I saying? Right. You don't want to get the canvas soaking wet. One way that you'll notice that it's soaking wet is if basically it'll look like you know, you just spilled water on it and it's soaked in, right? You don't want to get that part any more wet, right? Now, what you can do if it's warm enough is you can just spray it and then just leave it, and the humidity will actually tighten up the canvas and get rid of all those wrinkles. What another thing you can do, my personal favorite, is you just you take a hair dryer, right? You spray down the canvas, and then you get a hair dryer, and then that'll take care of it. Let me go get my spray bottle because I'll actually spray it, and maybe by the end of the stream some of these wrinkles will actually come out and you'll see what I mean. So, let me just leave this here for a second. Because again, if it's warm enough in your house, especially if you live somewhere that's a cold climate and you've got heat in your house, just spraying it and leaving it will actually probably work. Yeah, I didn't know you could do that either. Another method actually is to spray it. Actually, you don't have to spray it, but you can spray it and then lay it flat on the ground and make sure that it's actual flat ground, like you don't have any slats in your floor or anything that can imprint on it. You can lay it on like a piece of felt or something that's fairly flat, you know, to make sure that you don't get any indents on the canvas. And then just put like heavy stuff on the canvas, and that can also flatten it out. I like this method better. So you got your spray bottle, and then you just lightly mist it. And I'll actually show you what it looks like if you go overboard. Right? So I just sprayed 3 times in there, and you'll notice that this starts to darken, and it looks like it got really, really wet. Now, it's not a huge deal, but if that does happen, I'll use this shirt. Try to like get the excess water off. If you don't, it's just going to take longer to dry. If you get it super wet, it might leach through to the painting, but I haven't seen that happen yet. You also want to make sure if you've got wrinkles up like along the edges of your wood, like you just pull the canvas out a bit and just spray in there all the way down. You are going to see like that's going to dampen up really more so than the rest of the canvas, but that's again okay. It'll be all right. I promise. Yeah. Again, you don't want to put too much water on it. I'm probably putting a little too much water on it, but that's okay. You can always take my my channel and the things I do as what not to do, you know, as a cautionary tale. But yeah. So what we'll do is, now that that's damp, we'll just put this over to the side. And we'll let that dry for a bit. And we'll come back to it and we'll see if it actually does tighten up, which it should, you know. All right, so we've got like another half hour or so. So what do you say we get another canvas up on the wall, another piece of canvas, and we start a new painting. We won't get too far into it, but let's do that. So I'm gonna take it. I'm looking at my computer again instead of looking at the camera. I'm gonna take another break. It'll be a quick break just because I have to get another piece of canvas, put it on the wall. But yeah, we'll take a quick break. I'll run an ad or something, I guess. And then we'll come back and because I got to get the tripod all set up again facing the wall, and then yeah, we'll do some more painting. All right, so I will be right back. Just bear with me, everybody. I'm trying to trying to reset this camera. All right, come on now. Refresh the device, please. Ah, of course, of course. Let me close the app and then open it again. See if that works. Oh no! Oh no! I hope your tongue ends up all right. I hate it when that happens. Hey, there we go. All right, we fixed it. All right, so we're semi back. I just have to clean up a little mess on the floor. Basically, I decided to cheat a little bit, and I put a heater on the painting that we just did to kind of speed up the process a bit. And in doing so, the air current actually knocked over another painting, which knocked the water bottle down, which kind of spilled all over the floor. So I will be with you in just a second. I'm just going to make sure that this towel is actually doing its job. Okay, I'm going to need another towel. There we go. Now, I could have edited all that out, like I could have just put up the screen, but you know what? Life is a comedy of errors sometimes, and that was actually, it was kind of funny. Alright, so, let's cut a piece of canvas, get it hung up on the wall, and then we'll start painting. Now, Rocky, another thing, just talking about, you know, buying rolls of canvas, another benefit to buying your own rolls of canvas is you have the freedom to make paintings as big or as small as you want, basically. The only limitations that you have are the actual limitations of the size of the roll of canvas, right? So like mine is 64 inches. So you can't really go any bigger than that, but you can make it like as long as you want. Like I've got a canvas that's ready and primed to be painted that's 6 feet by 4 feet. So that's another nice little bonus to getting canvas roll. And also, like a canvas that size, like 6 feet by 4 feet, like that would cost a fortune to get custom made because there's no store out there that's selling a canvas that big, right? So. We'll just pin this up. Now, Rocky, it's unfortunate that you burned your tongue, and I'm sorry that you burned your tongue, but is the food at least tasty? Because it's one thing to like burn your tongue on something that's delicious, because at the very least, you know, you burned your tongue on something delicious. Roll this up, move it over. Yeah. And there's nothing wrong with paintings that size, but it is nice to be able to like paint on a larger scale. Oh yeah, enchiladas and yeah, that's that burn is worth it. All right. So is this clean enough yet? I don't think so. Okay, so we're gonna go grab the other one. Bear with me, I just have to go grab another brush. Take this with me. Okay, here we go. Sorry about that delay, folks. Alright. Yeah, it was a very eventful couple of minutes there, but we're back. Alright. So, this particular painting, I think I want the predominant colors, because we just did a light colored painting. So I think I want red and black as the predominant colors in this one. Black paint on there, and we're not using the big brush for this one. I wanted to, but it's still soaking in an alcohol bath because I accidentally let it dry with paint in it. Now the good thing about acrylic paint is, again, it's plastic, so it actually breaks down when you introduce rubbing alcohol to it. So it's just sitting in a rubbing alcohol bath now, and it'll break down the plasticity of the paint, and all the stuff will come off the bristles and we use it again. But for now, we're going to make another dark painting. Because that last one was pretty light, you know? Pretty light-hearted. Well, not light-hearted, but light in color. So this one's going to be darker. Right now we're just kind of setting the base color. It's going to be a mix of red and black. because why not? I think that would be fun. We need more black paint because we got the rest of this canvas to fill up. And unfortunately, like well, only got like a couple of minutes left, but figure might as well start something, and then we have a base upon which to build on Thursday, you know. But once again, I do appreciate you all coming out again. I really do. Anytime y'all take time out of your day to come watch me paint a little bit, I really do appreciate it. One thing I've seen people do is actually put the paint right on the canvas. I don't do it very often, but you can also do that if you want. Again, I feel like that doesn't allow nearly as much control for me as I would want. I feel that I can get more control out of the brush, like using the brush, but you know, for some people, that's the method that works for them. And there ain't nothing wrong with that. That was a lot more red than I wanted to put on here, but that's okay. We'll just mix more black with it, and we'll be good. The title of this video is kind of a continuation of the last one, which I called Losses and Gains, because I found out I like to save my VODs to YouTube, right? Just for posterity's sake, and in case like anybody wants to watch them and they missed it on here, they can go watch it on YouTube, right? But unfortunately, the VOD that I had for the time that Ross Draws very generously decided to raid me with some of you fine folks, actually. That's how you came over to the channel. And I very much appreciated it. And I forgot to save that VOD. And then I found a thing called the Twitch Recover that actually recovers lost VODs. So I found it. But before I had a chance to download it, Twitch deleted the VOD completely. Like, deleted all its data, so like, it just pointed to a stream file, but there were no video files left, and no audio files, so the video is gone forever, and I was kind of bummed about that, but then, you know what? At the same time, there is kind of a beauty in something like that happening, and it's just kind of left to memory now, you know? Because I'll always remember it. You know, so it was sad for a minute, it was a loss, but then it's like, nah, you know what? I gained a lot of you fine folks because of that moment, and that's, as fun as it would be to rewatch it, that's good enough, you know? You put... Yeah. I think that's the reason why a lot of them do it. It saves time. Right. Because yeah, it would take, like, if you have a smaller brush like I do right now, because like I tend to like use a bigger brush to lay all this down, but it's currently incapacitated, like I said. But yeah, and also Rocky Road. That's fair enough. That is fair enough. I think that's a good reason to put the paint directly on the canvas. Yeah. So yeah, it was kind of a shame that that VOD is now lost to time, but you know what? That's okay. it just leaves room for bigger and better things in the future, right? So I must say, this is actually one of the better base layers I've ever put down. I'm actually kind of happy with how this turned out. I'm shocked, actually. I'm going to grab a little bit more black paint, though, just so we don't run out. Well, thanks, Rocky. I'm glad that you all are here, and I'm glad you find it so chill. And yeah, exactly, Moon. Like it's exactly like that. Like recording an entire concert on your phone to enjoy it later is kind of missing the forest for the trees when you can just sit there and enjoy the moment instead. So, yeah. So yeah, like the title says, losses and gains. There we go. I think that turned out pretty well. Just a little bit of red and black. See, what's funny, and this is what I like about doing this channel too, is like, sometimes I don't really know where I want a painting to go. I know exactly what this painting is going to look like when it's done. I know exactly what I got planned, and y'all ain't ready for it yet. Y'all ain't ready for this one. I'm excited about it. One thing I did like about acrylic is that when it dries, yeah, no, that's, I know exactly what you mean. It's great. You end up with like, almost like a mountain range on your palettes, you know. They're almost kind of pieces of art themselves, you know. But yeah, it's a lot of fun, that aspect of acrylic. Now, I do apologize in that we didn't get more of this painting in. Yes, that is the Mocha-Cola logo. That's exactly what that is. Now, we didn't get more of this done because, you know, decided to have an accident and spill water all over the floor that I had to clean up. But I will just turn this this camera around, if it will let me. Hopefully it'll let me, without freaking out. You gonna sit there nicely, or you gonna, oh, there we go. Okay, so the back of this canvas in some areas is still a little wet, and spilling the water certainly didn't help. But hopefully you can see. I'm gonna have to turn my computer around so that I can actually see what's going on. Oh, don't worry, my phone just fell over. There we are. We didn't disconnect. Yes, the process. Yes, I'm glad you get to see that painting process. I'm glad that you didn't actually see the water spill all over my floor. It's warm in here. All right, let's see if that worked. Did that tighten up at all based on the... Yeah, as you can see now, a lot of the wrinkles are gone. There's still a few wrinkles, and there's still a few water spots, right? But those will dry. And the nice thing about this too is that you can tighten it as much as you want, right? Because you can see it's still a little loose, right? But you can spray water on it and dry it as many times as you want. I'm sure there will be a time where there's a breaking point and it shrinks too much, and then it actually starts to affect the paint. But this paint's pretty pliable too. So this is the painting that we just finished. So that's a good long look at it. The one thing I didn't show you was you can get a good look. There's still like a little dent right here that I have to just apply some more water and some more heat, and then that will go away. But the one thing I didn't do was actually like hang a wire on it, and I'll show you that at a later date. Just because I ran out of screws that I actually, tie the wire to. That's the one thing that's missing, so you can actually hang this. You can also like buy some hooks and just like hammer in some hooks here, and it will hang on the wall. But I like using wire. I find it sits flatter on the wall when you use wire. But yeah, so we got that. Yeah, I'm glad you can see the difference. Yeah, it takes a little time because it does have to dry, and like I said, this one's not dry all the way yet, but eventually it does dry, and it's all good. And applying heat to it directly, like I said, like either with a heater or with a blow dryer, speeds up the process and it tightens up quicker. Like I've done one where it was a painting just about that size, and spraying it and then doing the hair dryer took maybe like 10 minutes. So yeah. Oh well, Moon, thank you for showing up. Thank you for checking it out. I'm glad you had a good time. I'm glad you learned something. But hope to catch you next time, because we're going to be back on Thursday, so hopefully you can join us then. But for now, like, this is going to be the end of our stream together, but I am going to go raid somebody, and we're going to... Yo! Pseudo 32,000, thank you so much for the follow. I appreciate that. Right now, we're gonna go raid somebody. So let me just have a seat here, and we'll pull up somebody to raid. Why don't we? Oh, hello, Pseudo. Wow, from France. Well, hello from Canada. Oh, no problem, Rocky. Pseudo, I apologize that you're just coming in the chat as we're finishing up, but we are actually going to go raid somebody. Going to pick another artist, and if I can't find a suitable artist, I'm going to find somebody who's playing a game that I like. But I do appreciate you coming in, and hope you can join us next time, and we can hang out and chat a little more. Let's see. Let's search for some art. One of these days I'll actually set it up so that I can screen share, and you guys can like see this instead of just looking at my face. Let's see. Who's doing some cool art? Again, it must be because of the time of the day, but there's a lot of people doing art, not very many of them doing it in English. But that's okay. That is all right. I want to see if I can find somebody who's not got too many viewers. All right. Let's see. Again, not very many people doing stuff in English. But that's okay. Well, this looks cool. This person looks to be doing just black and white art. So let's go say hello to them. Yeah. So raid at a broken sleep. I don't know anything about this person, but yeah, we're gonna go say hello, and I'm gonna have to split after because I gotta go run to the post office before it closes. But we're gonna go raid this person and say hello, and check out what it is that they're doing. Yeah. So we're gonna go do that. So I do appreciate everybody coming out tonight. Hopefully we'll see you on Thursday. We're gonna be back here at 6 p.m. Eastern. Which is 5 UTC 5 for those of you who are international. So hopefully we catch you again on Thursday, where we're going to be working on this new painting. And yeah, so everybody have a good night, and we will see you on Thursday. Take it easy, everybody.